How's everybody doing today? Thanks for joining me, and today we're looking at menu number 16. This is an Estonian Defense food packet, otherwise known as an individual combat ration of Estonia Defense Forces. This is menu 16, like I said. This could be either a lunch or a dinner. And what we have here is a beef goulash with potatoes. There's a whole dark rye bread, chicken pate, peanut butter cocoa, 1 green tea, a sugar, a wet wipe. This comes in at 1,235 kcals. 64 grams of this is fat, 121 grams is carbs, and there's 38 grams of protein. The total weight of this ration pack is 390 grams. And it has a best before of 8/30/2026. So let's get into this guy. Pretty simple packaging, pretty simple layout. We got some 100 grams of kek chicken pate. We have a Food Force. This is a beef goulash with potatoes, 150 grams. See the best before date on that. This is 10/20/2026. We have a wet wipe. We have a Garden House green tea. We have a 4-gram tube of sugar, and then we have a pretty unique dark rye bread. This is 50 grams. And then double packed, which I kind of like, a chocolate peanut butter tube, and this is, let's see how many grams this is. 40 grams right there. All right, yeah, that's everything. We're going to place this guy right here, and let's plate this up and dive into it. Okay, we are back. Now, because this main is freeze-dried, we need 450 mils of water, and that is a lot of water. That's almost an entire canteen cup. I would say maybe 1/8 from the top. So that's a considerable amount of water, and that's the first one we're going to start off with because that has to actually sit for a little while. Now there's line. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Look at how that looks. And they actually have lines inside there, and it says to fill to line H, which, if you have any experience with freeze-dried meals, you're better off adding the water in stages, because if you put too much in, you definitely can't take it out. So we're going to put three-quarters of that in there. I'm going to mix that up, make sure we get it into all the little corners, and I can already tell that's not enough. Look how pasty it got. And there's still plenty of room for water, so put another 1/3 in there. Mix that up. You know what? And I'm gonna say they're probably right. A little more. I think definitely that's enough. It's already starting to look soupy. I don't know how appetizing this looks, but it looks like it's just the paste. Wow, that is a lot. Let's give that a try. Oh my God, that's hot. And I did it again. Oh my God. You know what, I'm gonna say just a little bit more. That practically took the whole entire 450 mils of water. I'm surprised. Okay. My mouth is officially on fire. I burnt it real good. I'm going to close that up. Just put that on the side for now. Blow on that so I don't burn myself again. Alright. And we're using normal utensils today because they're probably issued utensils and no sense of using a plastic spoon and then trying to spoon out the chicken pate, 100 grams. Let's get our tea going here. Where's the tea? Right here. Losing my mind. Alright, so measured out the water for the main course and I measured out the water for the tea. Tea looks like it's a pretty good tea, and I like it that they don't overdo it with the sugar. All right. And yes, that is a green tea. All right, I'm gonna let that steep a little while. Let's check out this peanut butter. I like how they individually put it in a its own bag. And there is an oily residue on it. These bags are high quality bags. They're definitely not cheap. Let's grab a napkin here and wipe this down. I don't know what we're going to put this on because I plan on using the dark rye bread for the cake pate. And there's quite a bit amount in here. This is pretty impressive. 40 grams. Almost feels like 2 ounces. I don't know what 40 grams is. 40 grams is actually 28 grams is 1 ounce, so this is a little over 1.5 ounces, which is a pretty decent amount. All right, let's look at this chicken pate. And this is something to open. There we go. They're a little liquid. Wow, that smells really good. And wow, these packaging are no joke. Ah, look at that. There's actually 2 of them in there. I got a little worried when I saw it. It looked like a really thick. That's perfect. I don't think I want to use this peanut butter for the rye bread. I don't think peanut butter and chocolate and rye bread really go together. But I do think that the chicken pate and that rye bread is going to just blend perfectly. So, alright, let's try this out. Let's first get a first impression here. Very, very fine. It almost looks like cat food. I'm serious. It's like a paste. Great smell. Wow. That almost tastes a little livery. Like it's like you can taste that iron. But that is so creamy and so smooth that is a treat. This is definitely high quality pate. Pate and rye bread, look how creamy that is very prominent in Estonia. They take their rye bread seriously. They're one of the countries that has been eating rye bread the longest. Wow. This looks absolutely fantastic. We're going to load this guy up. This is almost similar to the German rye bread that comes in a can. That's what I'm getting, like the impression of it from the texture. Yeah, this looks almost exactly like that rye bread in the German ration. So I'm already excited about it. Alright, let's finish slopping this on here and getting into this guy here. Oh my god, look how much I put on this thing. Alright, first impressions. Look at that. That looks absolutely amazing. Man, that chicken pate has to be the best I've tasted. And that rye bread, that's exactly like the German rye bread. That is so easy to eat and so satisfying. This is high quality. There's definitely chicken liver in this because there's a sharp bite to it, but it is very smooth, very creamy, and very tasty. That is absolutely fantastic. And it pairs so well with this rye bread. This is like a very large grain rye bread, and it's pressed, almost looks like it's pressed together and then sliced, because you can almost see the individual grains of this rye bread. This is serious rye bread. All right, let's see how our main is doing. Wow. That is absolutely a massive portion. Oh my god, and it's still falling out. And there's still some at the bottom here. Wow. Look how huge that is. That's absolutely absurd how much is in here. I'm definitely not going to be able to finish this. My goodness, look at it's. Wow. Wow. And it tastes like it's like a potato paste with beef in it, right? This is a beef, yeah, this is a beef goulash. I was expecting to see a little more texture to it instead of it just being a paste, but let's get into it. Oh, that is absolutely ridiculous. All right, let's see how our tea's doing here. The tea looks very light. Let's give that a try. Yeah, a very light green tea, but that's enjoyable. That really is. Alright, I don't think we're going to need this knife anymore. Wow, I can't get over how huge this thing is. Alright, very creamy. It reconstituted almost perfectly with 450 mils, which is pretty shocking because anytime you follow the suggested water amount, 9 out of 10 times it's going to be watery. And look at this. This does not look watery. There's little tiny pieces of vegetable in it, and you can actually taste them when you're eating them. So, wow. Good flavor of beef, potatoes. The potatoes overwhelming because it looks like it's 70-80% potato powder, like a mashed potato powder with some freeze-dried carrots, looks like red peppers. I can't make out what else we have in here. Wow, this is so filling. This just hit my stomach. Wow. That's pretty unique. This guy's what got my attention right here. This is absolutely ridiculous how good this is. And that pairs up so well with this bread. I can't stop eating this. All right, I'm looking at the ingredients. We got potato flakes, 50%. We got tomatoes, carrots, salt, minced beef. We got rosemary, spices, herbs, pea protein, cream powder, flavorings, garlic, leek, vegetable protein, yeast extract, soy sauce powder. May contain small amounts of gluten, egg, milk, fish, shellfish, celery, mustard, soy, lupin, sulfur dioxide, and sulfate. This comes at 1,707 kilojoules, which is 408 calories, 14.2 grams, of which 7.3 grams is carbs. I'm sorry, 7.3 grams is fat. We have carbohydrates at 58.3 and 10 grams of sugar and 10.8 grams of protein and 4.1 grams of salt. This is super filling. I'm already hitting the wall. Yeah, between that chicken pate, oh boy. Between that chicken pate, oh, wow. All right, before we get totally full here, because I'm not going to even be able to put a dent into this thing. It's delicious, don't get me wrong, but that is a huge portion. Almost 3/4 of a cup of a canteen of water, plus the whole meal pouch, and that's a lot. All right, so let's get into this guy right here. I'm really surprised that they didn't throw some crackers in this, some biscuits to go with this. Wow, look at that. This is a peanut butter. That's got a pretty weird texture to it. The texture is of peanut butter, but visually it looks like Nutella. It's not smooth and creamy like Nutella. It's grainy. Yeah. Wow, that is unique. Very thick. Very thick and mouth gluing. Wow. That's pretty unique. It looks like Nutella, but it has the grainy consistency of peanut butter. A rough ground peanut butter, not a smooth creamy. That's pretty good. I'm not really crazy about chocolate and peanut butter. I can do it on a candy bar, a cookie, but this is kind of unique. Very grainy and very thick. And as soon as you put it in your mouth, it just glues your mouth shut. Wow. That is very thirst-provoking, but unique. All right, I don't think I'm going to be able to put a dent in this. That chicken pate filled me up. There's no way I'm going to be able to put even a dent of half of this in it. That kind of topped off any room I had left over. So let's look at this wet wipe for cleaning hands by Food Force. And it has a little insignia here of a sea turtle and a toilet. Don't throw this in the ocean and don't flush it. Wow, what a pleasant scent. It's almost smells like a woman's perfume. Yep, that is pretty unique. They're going all out after a long day of fighting and combat maneuvers. Wow, that's unique. That's the first thing that came to my mind. A woman's heavy perfume, like an older woman's perfume. That's pretty unique. All right, well, I'm not even going to try to put a dent into this. I hope you enjoyed this video. I have lunch menus, I have more dinner menus, and we're going to check them out. Thanks again for the viewers. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.